Hi, I'm Mel Power, and welcome to this episode of the Maitland Business Chamber Bouncing Back for Small Business series. Today's guest is one of our powerhouse businesswomen in Maitland, Natasha McElwaine from McElwaine's Estate Agents. Natasha's jumping in today to chat with me around what's going on in the property market, particularly in Maitland in the Hunter, but also all over Australia in relation to our economic and health crisis that's going on in the world at the moment. What I love most about Natasha is she has a real heart for Maitland and the people that make up the community, and she's all about helping us make the best decision for what we need when it comes to our future with property. So let's jump in and have a chat.
Hello. Hey, how are you? Good to connect.
Good. I know it's like Zoom. Everyone's Zooming at the moment, right?
I know. It's so good because, I just think we can access anything anytime, which I love. Yeah, it's so good to connect, and let's jump straight in, shall we?
Absolutely. So the first question I ask everybody on the show at the moment is, how are you? So how are you, lovely?
Yeah.
How's things going in your
Well,
world?
look, everything is actually, when we were in the eye of the storm, I went, oh my God, like everybody else. I think we all went, holy hell, what the hell is happening around the world? Because we're so isolated, in the Australian world of, economics, so to speak.
Yeah.
So for us, we sort of sat down and went through strategies. I mean, we're very good. We're very able to move very quickly with time. So we're
Mm.
very all about digital anyway. So we sat down, and I thought that I think it's a good thing for the industry. It shakes us up a little bit. The
Yep.
main shifts that obviously came in for us was, no auctions and no open houses. So, for
Yeah.
us,
That's big for you guys, right? Massive thing.
yeah. But when you look at it, it's actually a nice shift, because I think the world's gone through a massive reboot, and we've become, very much more, I guess we're realigning to be much more grateful for what we've got in life. So, for auctions in particular, I mean, it's actually only 14% of auctions that properties get under auction anyway. So,
Wow.
yeah, so it's not like it seems big, but it's in the big scheme of things, it's 14%. So I know you're a numbers lady. So,
Yes.
so last weekend, digital auctions took place for the first time. They launched, and so they actually are looking at about 6%. So there's been a bit of a decline, obviously, in auctions that we're seeing. But still, they're holding quite strong. Like Sydney's doing some great results, and the pockets of markets are happening really nicely. So, I see that.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I
we've
have to
been.
ask you, I'm dying to ask this question. How do you run a digital auction?
Well, it's all
That's
online. So
amazing.
yeah, so we can buy space online, and it's uploaded on
Wow.
realestate.com, all of those things. So we can, set that up quite nicely. For us in the Hunter, I mean, there's not a huge percentage of properties that go under the hammer up here. So
Yeah.
look, we can maneuver around that quite nicely. We can do expressions of interest, which is
Yeah.
under private treaty. So there's two methods:
Mm.
auction or private treaty. But expressions of interest generally works the same principles anyway.
Yeah.
So, there's lots of flexibility in our industry. We're very fortunate. We're not like Victoria. Victoria's in full lockdown. You can't even do inspections. So,
Wow.
yeah, so we're so grateful to be operating and being able to go into,
Go Gladys.
yeah, that's right. That's right. So, look, I see that, I guess realestate.com is the other one, Melanie, that really blew my mind, because there's 1.4 million people looking on realestate.com.au a day since us
Unbelievable.
being, in the lockdown mode. So that's pretty big numbers. And so when you say, how is our property market going, it
Mm.
is a little bit too soon to really see, but as we stand right now, I see that we have been, unscathed, so to speak, a little bit. We've been very, very fortunate.
Yep.
I think the other thing is too, like last week we had 5 offers be accepted, and a lot of properties are selling.
Amazing.
Yeah, are selling before they even hit market. So yeah, and it's right across the spectrum. So, which is quite interesting. It's fascinating, because I would not have said that honestly 3 weeks ago when the Prime Minister got on and said, this is what we've got to do. I went, that's it. We're not selling anything till spring, really.
I think everyone thought that, and I know I'm glad you've sort of segued into talking about the selling thing, because I know that most people I'm speaking to at the moment, that question is on their mind. Is this a time to sell? Like, what happens if somebody's in a situation, well, I want to sell my home? What are your sort of thoughts around that right now?
Well, absolutely. Look, my thoughts have definitely changed in the last 2 weeks, because of the data coming through, and more importantly of what we're being able to achieve. The last week, as I say, we had 5 offers accepted on them.
Mm.
2 of them were properties that didn't even enter the market, so they were able to be sold prior to. Of course, we're doing virtual inspections now as well. So a lot of people that are sitting in
Wow.
Sydney, that's just a norm now. Like, we've got our production crew, we've got it all set up. We just walk in, it's just like a standard thing. So, we bought that equipment the day that it sort of all happened and just went, that's just going to be our norm.
Amazing.
So, and, it's interesting because I think people are looking at that and then they're going, okay, right, whether they're from Sydney or, like even it was a couple from Canberra that couldn't come up, but were looking at buying. So virtual inspections and you have to be super organized. Like, I think that's the thing. Like, you've got to have your contract sorted. Everything needs to be sent down. So they're doing their due diligence before they come up now. So whereas before, I think we got a bit complacent, like we did the open houses and had all these people come through and all that sort of stuff. So I think it's a good thing for our industry. I think that it did need a bit of a shake up, because like 20 years ago, I remember getting people in, buyers in my car and taking them to a property and showing them, and it took me, half a day. So, but that was the connection we got with people, like we really got to know them as human beings instead of just going, here's the open and come through. And, so I think it's a good thing. And, like, it's a terrible thing what's happened on a global front, but I think it's realigning some positivity back in humanity as well.
Oh, look, I agree. And I think more than anything, what I've seen in Maitland is there's definitely been a connection of the community, and which is wonderful. There's been a lot of rallying to support our other small businesses out there. And talking about small business, one of the things that I've really picked up from what you've just shared then is how you've actually jumped in very early and picked up the requirements to make your business be effective and efficient using tools of automation. Like even the prospect of setting up equipment to do virtual inspections. I mean, who would have thought that real estate would have been done like that?
Yeah, definitely. Look, and
It's amazing.
I think, look, I mean, we've come so far in, the digital space, and we're just so fortunate that all of us can work in a digital space like we are now. And, look, we're doing, digital walkthrough. So I can be, whether it's on, Skype or Zoom or, on Facebook Live, and walk through, and people can ask me questions. Hey, Natasha, what is that? Is that dog door over there on the right hand side? Yes, it's a dog door. But like it's pretty exciting, that sort of stuff. And then when they get serious, they can then come up. So we're actually saving people a lot of time that I don't think that's going to change for us personally, because I think time, we've realized, why have we been operating under this sort of, push all the time? Like, yeah. So I think that we've just got to get used to the way we're doing, particularly in the property market, taking advantage of all the digital products that we can do out there, and saving people time. And when they're super, super serious, they come up and inspect, and, we take the time to do that now,
Yeah, I think, and I've always thought of people in real estate as, having to work. My dad was in real estate for some time, so I kind of watched him go through that, but 7 days a week. And this was like, everyone's, and the quality and balance of life for the business owner having to operate at that level, and their team is, it's a lot. So the fact that you can actually think about introducing tools and changing the way that you're working to even build a stronger connection. Like, I'm fascinated now that I could say, Natasha, give me a tour through the house, and I can be talking to you on Facebook.
Talk to me, you can go, yep, and I can just carry this through. This is my new toy. I mean, of course, they're always joined.
It's personal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. And, look, and we're building up that rapport, which I think is really nice because let's face it, like this is a massive purchase. Like this is one of the massive, one of the key purchases in somebody's life. So we've got to make it extra special. So I'm super excited about the possibility of, using all these platforms for, our buyers and our clients that are selling. So like it's almost like a happy fit at the moment. So like I think we're over the real shock of everything, like
Yeah.
I think that's, it's peaceful and calm at the moment.
I love that we've got one of our fabulous women or woman in business or women all, but woman in business like yourself that is leading the way in the industry with what you're doing with digital technology and here in Maitland.
Yeah. Well, where else would you want to be, right?
Oh,
I mean,
I'm quite happy here.
I know, right? Yeah, that's right. And look, on a serious note, I do think there's a lot of people coming out of major cities once they come out of lockdown, particularly like out of state. I think they will reassess their lives like we all have. Like none of us have got out of being, thinking about what they're doing with their lives. And I think they'll be moving either to the coast, country, I want space.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's lovely. I really want to say thank you so much for taking the time to Zoom with me. I'd love to ask you just one more thing before we wrap up. What's your thoughts around, the small business situation in Maitland? And have you got any advice or tips for any other business owners that might be struggling at the moment on how they can navigate through this period?
Well, look, I think, don't be shy in, making contact with somebody that, even myself or, don't be shy in just reaching out and having a chat. But secondly, I think, don't focus on the fear so much. I think jump in and, shift, write down the way that you could see things moving forward. Concentrate on solutions and get the results. Because if you're always thinking about, oh my God, how am I going to do this? You're not focusing on like the end result, so I'm all about creating strategies and solutions. And I just maybe take a breath, and we've got time to do that. You don't need to implement something today, like just have a bit of a breather. And I think when you create space around you, that's where you get all your ideas, and that's what we've been missing, I think. So so just create that calmness, and just don't panic. That's the thing. I think we're curving this, and we're going to bounce back. There's going to be a whole new way of doing things.
I love that. Bounce back. Thank you so much, Natasha.
My pleasure.
Your time. And for those that are watching and tuning in, please, comment on the link below if you got any questions for Natasha. Please pop that through. Like she said, reach out. We're all about supporting other people in business, and particularly other amazing women entrepreneurs in business as well. We're here to rally each other in the Maitland community and make sure that we do bounce back out the other side. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Take care.
And we'll catch up for lunch and champagne.
I know, right? Sounds good. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.